The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Jago Castro. Light rains could not stop people from flocking to cemeteries in the metro to visit their departed loved ones for Undas. At the Manila North Cemetery, visitors queued up even earlier than 5 a.m. opening. The crowd grew over the next 2 hours until light rains poured over the area. Over 300 police officers have been deployed at the cemetery, where over 800,000 visitors are expected over Undas. Visitors at the Manila South Cemetery pack umbrellas in anticipation of downpour throughout the day. Despite inclement weather, the cemetery expects to receive up to 600,000 visitors for Undas. That's 3 times the crowd visitors it saw last year. With a bigger crowd expected, the administration assures of sufficient security in the area. Visitors also continue to trickle in at the Loyola Memorial Park in Marikina. However, the administration says they only expect around 25,000 visitors this year, as other people already visited earlier to avoid the Undas rush. That's far smaller than the 100,000 crowd volume recorded in 2022. Marikina City is implementing a one-way traffic scheme in some parts of Bonifacio Avenue until November 2 to alleviate anticipated traffic. Meanwhile, the cemetery at Mandaluyong City opened its gates to visitors at around 6 o'clock. Candle and flower vendors are also set up shop outside the cemetery to cater to visitors. Candles are priced from 5 pesos. Candles are priced from 5 pesos to 200 pesos depending on the kind and size. Visitors can also find flower arrangements from 100 to 400 pesos. For those still heading out today to your provinces for Undas, here's what you can expect on the transport situation. There's not much crowding at the Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange or PITX, even though many people are still rushing to go back to their provinces. According to some travelers, there are fewer passengers compared to the previous Undas. But the line just gets longer due to stringent baggage inspection. Carrying sharp objects and flammable items are strictly prohibited. PITX assured that there are enough buses to cater to travelers like those headed to Bicol and Quezon. The Philippine Coast Guard is also monitoring ports in the country. According to latest data from the PCG, there are over 3,400 officers on duty at the ports. They have inspected over 300 boats and some 700 motor bangkas. The agency also logged nearly 47,000 outbound passengers, as well as over 38,000 inbound passengers. Now, here's the live traffic situation along the North Luzon Expressway or NLEX for those headed to their hometowns up north. Now, at the upper left of your screens, you can see the Balintawak Toll Plaza, which has light traffic at the moment at regular RFID lanes, with a build-up at the RFID installation lane. Meanwhile, at Mapulang Lupa, Valenzuela, at the upper center of the screen, of the TV screens, the traffic is moderate, with cars are still moving at a normal pace. Light traffic is all over the areas of NLEX. Filipinos in some parts of the country will have to brace for a rainy Undas due to a low-pressure area. The LPA was last spotted over the coastal waters of Caramoan, Catanduanes. It's bringing scattered rain showers in Metro Manila, mainland Cagayan, Isabela, Aurora, Bulacan, Calabarzon, Marinduque, and Camarines Norte. Meanwhile, it's the northeast monsoon or Amihan that is bringing rains in Cordillera, Nueva Ecija, and the rest of Cagayan. Light rains will also be experienced in Ilocos and other parts of Central Luzon. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. The Commission on Elections maintains that preventing poll workers from carrying out their duties during elections is an election offense. This comes after reports of some residents who tried to stop electoral board members in their localities from submitting election returns to the Barangay Board of Canvassers. Reports have it that the voters wanted an official proclamation right then and there at the precinct for transparency. But COMELEC spokesperson Rex Laudianco told the big story that it is the canvasser's duty to proclaim the winners and not the electoral board. Poll workers are also tasked to return ballot boxes to the city or municipal treasurer's office.
The teachers are really supposed to bring these ballot boxes back to the custodian unless there are grave threats, unless it causes a delay or the process of the elections. That's the only time we will be considering filing cases against them. And it also depends upon the electoral boards. If the electoral boards will file complaints.
Cases of election-related violence this barangay and SK elections have also gone down compared to previous polls, according to COMELEC. The poll body recently logged 29 cases of election-related violence where 19 people died and several others were left injured. Despite the lower number of cases, COMELEC says there is room for improvement in time for the next round of BSK elections in 2025.
Our security preparations will be further improved as we assess the conclusion of our barangay and SK elections. What we had proven in our security template is that when we have law enforcement and military personnel on site, it deters further creation of violence.
Still on election matters, parties in Negros Oriental are busy finalizing plans ahead of the special congressional elections later this year. The special elections on December 9 is meant to fill the seat vacated by expelled Negros 3rd District Representative Arnie Teves. At least 3 relatives of slain Governor Roel Degamo are expected to vie for the seat. Degamo's widow, Pamplona Mayor Janice Degamo, Shaton Mayor and Degamo's nephew, Fritz Diaz, and cousin to the late Governor, retired Colonel Ray Lopez, who had already faced Teves for the congressional seat. He insists that he should be the Degamo camp's representative since the 2 others are incumbent officials.
Kung gusto talaga nila yung pwesto na to, bakit hindi sila in the first place ang lumaban noon? Di ba? Bakit mayor ang tinakbuhan nila? Parang it is actually a betrayal of public trust dahil pinapanalo kang mayor tapos tatalikuran mo yung mga tao.
Meanwhile, on the other side, former Governor Pride Henry Teves is still uncertain about running for the post his brother left behind. He said he will consider public clamor, but is at the moment hesitant about returning to Congress.
Some of them want me to carry the banner, though my interest in going to Congress now is not really that high. Because yung drive ko kasi at the time was really for the province eh. Hindi ko alam kung gaano ako ka-motivated bumalik sa legislature because I had been there already.
Just in time for Undas, President Marcos himself shared a couple of creepy encounters in Malacanang. In a recent vlog, the president sat down for some scary stories and trivia about the Malacanang Palace. Joining him was his son, Congressman Sandro Marcos, as he recounted what it's like living in the centuries-old mansion. Here's one of those encounters.
Nung ako'y nakatira sa isa dun sa mga guest room at ginagawa yung kwarto ko, kasama dito sa, malapit dito sa tinatawag na state dining room kung saan kami mag-cabinet meeting ngayon. Minsan, gabing-gabi na, umuwi ako, sinasara ko lang yung pintuan mula doon sa kwarto ko. Pagbukas ko ba naman ng pintuan, nakita ko biglang gumalaw yung mga puan. Nagsisisigaw ako dito. At
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us again at 11:15 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Diego Castro. We are One News, all sides, all the time.